What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter from Panda here. I got this real wood cover for this Microsoft Surface Pro. So I have my Microsoft Surface Pro 7. I think the 6 is going to be roughly the same physical shape aside from the USB port. I think is a little bit different. But I found this website. It's called Toast. I was actually looking for real wood skin or decals to apply to this because I like the feel of it and I thought it would just kind of give it a little bit of an old world look. And I found this site, real wood, genuine leather, serious style. You can get a bunch of different types of skins, covers, decals, and I was just really intrigued by this. I think they make them on demand. It took a little while to get, not forever, but it took a little while. So it's really nicely presented. And look at that. I can see little burn marks on these little flaps, which to me means that they are cutting everything with a laser, and that would make a whole lot of sense. And that's why I think these are kind of made on demand. Now, you can get them also in a variety of wood finishes. I got it in this kind of natural look, but you can see where it's cut and everything looks super precise. We even have cutout buttons that look like they would go on top of the actual buttons, which actually makes sense because if you put this on the side, you can see that they're probably like a millimeter thick. And so because the buttons only hover outside the case by a millimeter, let's take a look here, or maybe not even that. You can see the button right there. Be a little hard to see. Maybe not even that. The button might actually even be recessed underneath the wood. So you're going to need something to put on top of it. So you've got kind of all your fine stuff on the side here, the edge and the sides. And you can see here where it kind of hockey sticks. It will fold around the corner there. And that's why you get some extra cuts there. So you get some, I think they all stay attached, or there's the adhesive on the underside, and that's what kind of holds it together. Now, the back here, the main piece, you can see just like that, the kickstand and then the backing are just two giant pieces of wood, and I really love them. They are, I don't know, they're kind of an ivory. You can even see where they've kind of butterflied the two pieces together there. We have a cutout for the camera and the microphone. It's really, really light. And then we have all this 3M double-sided tape on the back. And then here is the kickstand portion. I'm gonna try to be really gentle with taking all this stuff out. Oh, and you know what? I think I actually requested, what I'll show you here, is that they have a cutout for the Microsoft logo there. And I think that was optional. And I actually think it was a few extra bucks. They didn't send this to me, I paid for it. They've lasered their logo in there, but I just love that grain. And to me, one of the things that I really wanted was kind of some light color contrasting with the blue. I think kind of white and blue look really nice together. And so, I'm not even sure that I care about the edges so much like here. And I'm sure the 3M adhesive or the double-sided tape is pretty strong, but when you don't have a huge area, there's not a lot of stuff for it to hold on to. But on the back is really where I want it, especially when you're putting this thing down on a table. The other thing I like about this wood is that if I do hit a sharp edge with it, a book, a cup, or something like that, I do think that this is actually going to take a little bit of an impact, maybe prevent you from getting some dings on here in a way that a regular vinyl skin would not. So let's go ahead and install this and check it out. All right, so first, one of the things that I did was I pulled off the backing. You can see that they have basically cut these little ribs in there. And I was thinking, why did they do that? I'm gonna have to go in individually and pull all of these off. But as I was reading the instructions, it says to leave those on there. It makes removing this or realigning it easier. So I'm gonna leave them on there and install this. Now, because it's rigid, a lot of times I will like to try to kind of align it and anchor one corner and then spread it out. But I'm going to kind of do that, but I'm going to use this long top edge, I think, to align it and then kind of roll it down. There's a little bit of flex to it, but not as much as a vinyl decal. So the installation couldn't be any easier. And, they just kind of, when you line it up, they just kind of plop into place and then you can just kind of press them down. I will say I love the look. There is just a little bit of forgiveness on the edge. I probably even have a little more on this top handle than I should have had. But you can see if you give it just a little bit of spacing, maybe 0.5 millimeter or all the way around, it fits perfectly and centers right on that logo. You can see on the camera and everything right up here. I probably could have moved it over just a hair. I probably have a little bit more space on this side than I need, and it's a little tight to the corner. But, I'm not going to obsess about that. I think that looks great. And, you know, like I said, I think the adhesive on here is actually really, really good too. So I actually wouldn't have a problem taking, you know, an electronics cleaner and cleaning up these edges and then putting it on. I think it's probably going to stay on there. But man, I just love this blue and this white. It gives it kind of a classic look, a kind of a modern, Swedish, Scandinavian, minimalist look, but gives me some protection without adding a lot of width or thickness to anything. Thickness, not width. And man, it's just classic. I'm glad I found this company. You can social media them at Toastmade, but you can also pick up their stuff at their website at toastmade.com. I didn't see anything on Amazon, but I'm going to put some links to some other covers that I'm really intrigued by on the Amazon website, so you can find some stuff. Now, I will say this wasn't the cheapest thing in the world, you know, when they're kind of making them on demand and things like this that are this high quality. I would expect you to have to pay a couple bucks for, but, you know, obviously when you have $1,000 tablet, laptop, computer, you know, it's going to be worth spending, you know, 40, 50, 60 bucks to give it some protection. And like I said, I really do think that this outside will take some abuse and really protect your device. So I will link everything in the description below. Peter Von Panda, out.